Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about more wrestling news. We have a lot of news today across wrestling. So let's get into it first. I'm going to hear off Twitter from Wrestling News Co. on Twitter. So Paul Heyman said, I don't see Conor McGregor picking a fight with Roman Reigns. I like the little guy. He's funny to me like a clown. He said so. He was interviewed by Ariel Helwani after WrestleMania 39. The reason it's being brought up because, the UFC WWE merger, some people are thinking he's going to, Conor McGregor's going to face Roman Reigns. I don't see it happening, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's Vince McMahon. But he was asked where he would rank this Roman Reigns title defense he had against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. So he basically interviewed him about the match. And stuff like that. And I don't know, I haven't had a chance to digest it yet. I like the fact that everyone walks in now thinking this is the last title defense. I experienced this before, which is something I had in hand an ending, which was The Undertaker's undefeated streak for WrestleMania. Every year you sat there and you said, oh, this is it. During the match, the audience is actually anticipating and salivating for this to be the moment that they get to witness the historical 3 count and the Undertaker to which the streak would finally end. Then, of course, I'm reading Paul Heyman where he would rank Roman Reigns' title defense. His basically thoughts on the main event. Then, where they get to witness the historical 3 count on the Undertaker, to which the streak would finally. Then, of course, the Undertaker would defend the streak. Then they said, "Oh yeah, I don't want to see this end. Can't wait for the next chapter." Then it finally ended, and the audience was shocked because they thought they would see it. They thought they would see it. They thought they would. And no, they didn't get to see it. This was the year after year after year, and then they finally got to see it. I think that's the same thing with Roman Reigns' title defenses now. You hope this is the one. You think this is the one. You're sure this is the one. You watch the match happen, you go, this is the one. And then it turns out not to be the one. Oh, man, I can't wait to see the next chapter. The response tonight to Cody Rhodes, which was louder than the response last week to Cody Rhodes, which was a response more passionate tonight for Cody Rhodes, which was a response of an audience that believes in Cody Rhodes this week more than they did last week. And when they hung their hopes and their dreams on him, he didn't disappoint them. We disappointed them. We took that away from Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns took that away from Cody Rhodes and the audience, and they blame Roman Reigns for it. They appreciate how close Cody came, and they know the next time Cody Rhodes steps in the ring with Roman Reigns, this will be the one. That's the business. That's the business at its very best. Yada, 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 basically. And they did ask him if he ever thought Vince McMahon would sell WWE. He said yes and no, basically. Basically saying they're going to survive. They're going to survive. They're going to thrive. I don't know about last night after that. He basically, and he talked about Conor McGregor tweeting him saying if he got to Lippy, he would break his jaw in 3 places and called him a grandpa. I'm not a grandfather, but I appreciate the fact that I'm old enough to be one. Number one, I'm still thriving on top. I'd like to see Conor McGregor at 57 still thriving at the very top of his industry. We'll see if he's even relevant at 57. We'll see if he even lives to 57 with his lifestyle now. Number 2, number 3, it's not that he tweeted me. I picked the fight with him. Let's be honest about this. He's a Roman Reigns wannabe. He did the Roman Reigns style, Paul Heyman style, tie on each shoulder. He gave a shout out to himself. Of course he did. The ultimate self promoter in Conor McGregor. Standing 9 feet tall and weighing 155 pounds and 5'4". So with that in mind, I said, look at Conor McGregor, Roman Reigns wannabe, and of course, he said, oh, I'll be careful, Grandpa. I'll break your jaw in 3 places. So, the first bit that was me reading off where he drank Roman Reigns' title defense, basically, and basically his thoughts, and then he basically roasted Conor McGregor, so that was funny. So the next thing I'll talk about is WWE Raw from last night draws its higher viewership since the 30th anniversary show for WrestleMania Fallout. So the ratings for this week, according to Brandon Thurston, are in. It was the average of 2.260 million viewers on the USA Network, up from the 1.843 million viewers last week. The show from the 1849 demo drew a 0.76, up from the 0.56 rating last week. The Fallout show from WrestleMania 38 last year drew 2.101 million viewers with a 0.63 key demo rating. So the ratings were up, but I don't think it's going to be up for long because Vince McMahon's back. That show was terrible. They had them ratings up, but the show, and that's a show, and just to have that kind of show for the worst Raw ever. Jesus, man. Some WWE talent are exploring options outside of WWE if Vince McMahon returns full-time to handle creative. So last month, WrestleNews.co reported about talent and staff expecting releases after WrestleMania as the company looks to cut back on expenses during WrestleMania week ahead of the sale. We noted that one person who works behind the scenes was under the belief that talent that releases that go from talent to backstage to office staff or all three departments were expected as soon as this month. That was the chatter among those we spoke with last month, or our report stated that at least one person has been preparing for life outside of WWE again. We don't have confirmation that releases are coming, but there are people in the company who believe that people will be cut, especially those that have not been used on TV in a meaningful role in weeks. In addition to the expected cuts because of the sale, there's also concern about Vince McMahon getting more involved in creative. Well, no shit. Watch last night's show. If you tell me it's a Triple H book show, you're a fucking idiot. Despite Nick Khan, Triple H, and Vince himself indicating that Vince would only oversee the bigger picture stuff. Yeah, right. Vince was said to be heavily involved in the creative last night Raw, which he was. You know, that was a Vince McMahon show. And it was reported today that multiple outlets of changes made by Vince McMahon over the weekend and at Raw have led to a drop in morale. And Fightful Select reported today that multiple wrestlers are exploring their options in the event that Vince McMahon was steadily involved. Fightful also stated that at least two talent, including one near the top of the card, has said they would likely request their release if this trio is moving forward. People think it's Bayley. Some people are thinking it's Bayley. I don't know. It could be. She wasn't on the show last night, so it might be Bayley. I'm not sure. And he's probably going to do SmackDown too, so SmackDown's going to be trash too. John Cena joins the cast of the new Barbie movie. So maybe it's going to be Harley Quinn Peacemaker reunion. Report. LA Knight was scrapped from WWE WrestleMania. They were going to do a segment apparently with LA Knight, but it got scrapped from WrestleMania, scrapped from the show. Instead we get a pointless impromptu matches with The Miz back-to-back nights with Pat McAfee and Snoop Dogg. They could have totally sent him out there. The crowd was chanting for LA Knight. And the WWE gave The Miz 3 matches which were absolutely pointless. You can't even give LA Knight a match, not even an appearance. Well, 2 matches, I guess, but whatever. And people say unknown reasons. Unknown reasons, Vince McMahon. He probably doesn't even know who LA Knight is. That's a L so big, Vince McMahon strikes again. And Night 2 is now booked by Vince. So no LA Knight. They just guess LA Knight's not gonna get pushed anymore, and watch him change his name back to Max Dupree. And a noticeable on-screen absence. Most of LA Knight after saying WrestleMania will get that LA Knight moment. He's scheduled to have a segment with Lashley on Night 2, We are unsure as of now why the change was made. Please, for the love of God, stop the pain. Oh, we know why. It's Vince McMahon. And another report about a segment being changed this week. Also before Mania, Bobby laid out an open challenge and vowed to get a match on the show. But instead, I guess they scrapped that inside. What we're going to do is have him come out with the Andre Trophy. I knew something was up. Bobby going to Mania to show off his trophy on the stage just felt awkward and just didn't feel right. Lashley was done dirty. LA Knight was done dirty. And the women's just been done dirty in WWE too, especially last night on Raw. Report, Melina told to leave WrestleCon after a physical altercation. So, apparently she had a physical altercation. Charlotte Flair is taking a break from WWE again. She literally came back 3.5 months ago, but win a championship, lose it, take a break, come back to win a championship, lose it, do it again. That's all she's doing. Again, she literally just came back 3.5 months ago. But I guess they don't know what to do with her without the championship, because they don't know what to do with her without a title. But maybe it's because Vince McMahon's come back and she wanted to take time off, I guess. Think about some more news here. So WWE wrestler we spoke to for our final select feature about the Raw changes called Vince McMahon an 80-year-old Tasmanian devil. I don't think that's accurate. He's actually 77. Well, close enough. But a WWE wrestler they spoke to for their feature called him an 80-year-old Tasmanian devil. And they're not wrong. He looks like he's at fucking 80. This is something Seth Rollins would say. This would make sense. This seems like something Seth Rollins would say. R.I.P. to Butch the Bushwhacker. Unfortunately passed away yesterday, the WWE Hall of Famer, so condolences to the WWE Hall of Famer, Butch. So as of now, there have been no main roster requests for a release. As of right now that we've heard of per Sean Ross Sapp. Anyone else saying Fightful is saying that is lying. So there's been no releases. Somebody made some fake account put, oh, Fightful said Bayley's released. No, there's been no requests for a release by anyone as of yet. WWE stock closes at near a 4-year high. Vince McMahon real-time net worth reportedly $3.1 billion. So, and fan happiness is at an all-time low. But we all know what's more important to Vince is money. That's all he cares about is. That's all he cares about is money. But yeah, I think that's it for all I have to talk about. Endeavor's Mark Shapiro and WWE said we're going to run the UFC playbook. Their stock is about to tank. Horrible business decision. We're going to get $70 pay-per-views now. Yeah, nobody's paying for that. Especially for last night. Say if there's a pay-per-view this week, nobody's paying $70, $80 for a fucking pay-per-view. Ademi LLP investigating whether WWE obtained a fair price in the Endeavor transaction. So apparently Ademi LLP is investigating. Hey, how about you investigate Vince McMahon, please? You need to investigate Vince McMahon and see why he's out here booking his shows again. So Otis wants to face Bray Wyatt. Chad Gable names Bret Hart as his dream opponent. So I'd love to see Chad Gable versus Bret Hart. That'd be a great match. Otis and Bray Wyatt I wouldn't really care for, but Yes, that's all I'll say. So until next time, Alkalite. Peace. Fuck Vince McMahon.